have, and this match already got a couple turns in before we started. We have Justin Uppal. Remember, we saw him defeated at the end of yesterday. He made top 8 of the Standard Open. He is still undefeated currently in Legacy. He is playing his standby, Esper Stoneblade, versus Kendal Guthrie playing Rug Delver. I would say a typical Legacy matchup here.
Yeah, very, very standard here. The Rug Delver deck from Kendal Guthrie. For Tarmogoyf from Nimble Mongoose, Delver of Secrets. For the spells, Brainstorms, Bolts, Stifles, Dazes, Ponders, Force of Wills, all the usual suspects. This is, of course, game 1, so just the main decks here. Dismember, Fork Bolt, Thought Scour, Sylvan Library are one-ofs. So expect to see a very standard Rug Delver list.
Yeah, and Justin Uppal, a standard Esper Stoneblade list. He does have one main deck actual counter spell. Yeah, Stoneforge Mystic, Snapcaster Mage, and Vendilion Clicker as creatures. He has the full set of Snapcaster Mages in his deck, which I don't think is typical for this sort of deck.
You know, Snapcaster Mage costs a lot of mana for Legacy, for a minimum of 3 mana.
He's playing the Riptide Lab here, so he's going a little bit deeper with Stoneblade. He does not have, he's not playing any counterbalance or divining top. He has one divining top. He has no counterbalance though.
Right. This almost reminds me of the
like a previous level Esper Stoneblade.
Exactly. So right now, players are involved in a counter war here. It looks like, you know, it just looks like the Stoneforge Mystic got Force of Will. No fight from Justin Uppal.
It's fine. That seems to make sense. I mean, Kendal Guthrie can't actually let Mystic resolve.
Right.
Batterskull's a little problematic for him. And it appears that it's 1, 2, 3, just 4 cards in the graveyard, so Nimble Mongoose will hit for 1. And Sylvan Library out of Guthrie. That's such a strong card in the matchup. And Uppal draws a card.
And it looks like explosives, X equals 1.
Yeah, he's just wants to get rid of Nimble Mongoose. Interesting play that he bows the Mongoose. I feel like the Library might actually be the card that's going to beat him here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Kendal Guthrie has a lot of life to work with.
Yeah, that seemed a little rushed to me. But, you know, I think he's trying to just keep the board clean. Maybe Justin's trying to simply just answer everything that Guthrie does. It's going to be hard. There's a good source of card advantage, especially with the fetch lands. Remember, Sylvan Library is very powerful. So you have Delver of Secrets, that is checklist cards, ever so beautiful. There's them all blacked out.
I'm not sure if Kendal Guthrie paid 4 life or 8 life right there. We'll find out from the table judge for you, but it was at least 4.
I believe it was 4.
So he'll cast 2 Delvers and say go.
All right, and you know, now my joke here is, well, Justin Uppal just cracked his EEs on 1.
Yeah.
Tad. So he's going to swords one of the Delvers. Uppal playing at a really fast speed here. It seems like he's very confident in the line. It makes me feel like he has a plan here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Legacy he's played, but he really just wants to stabilize and try and get a Jace down. 2 Jace in the main deck. Jace or Stoneforge Mystic would create a really big advantage for him.
And we see still mono, so the Delver flips, which presumably Kendal Guthrie knew off the Sylvan Library. He's going to just keep 1 card, and you may see the top of his library is pretty live. He may keep it for a while before cracking that fetch land.
Yeah, it looks like he'll at least want the Lightning Bolt.
Batterskull Thoughtseize Brainstorm from Justin Uppal. Batterskull, without the help of Stoneforge Mystic, really has difficulty resolving in this matchup.
Yeah, and right now Justin Uppal...
He's going to attempt to snap Path. There's a Spell Pierce waiting for that when he tries it. Yep. So Guthrie will pierce. Uppal at 13. Guthrie has entered race mode. He has a Lightning Bolt in hand, a second Lightning Bolt now drawn. Lightning Bolt and Ponder. He has to be careful that he doesn't allow Uppal the opportunity to race back. It's not too much of a concern. So he's going to keep Stifle.
I definitely like that. He'll look to stifle the first opportunity that the Sensei's top taps
to try to draw a card.
Yeah. Yeah, Justin Uppal getting no help from the top of his deck here. It's not the cards he wants at all. He's going to have to brainstorm soon without a fetch land, just to try and last ditch clear the top of his deck.
Remember, when you do tap to draw its divining top when it's stifled, the top does not go on top of the deck. So it's just actually, you know, isn't as brutal as it might seem, but still a pretty strong play.
No, still might effectively be a Force of Will.
Yep. He's gonna keep that Lightning Bolt on top until he actually needs it. He's hiding the Lightning Bolt from potential Thought Seizes, but Justin, he may not know that Justin actually is on full sets of Thought Seizes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
looks
two
like
Thoughtseizes,
actually-
two Inquisition.
I think he drew the bolt this turn. I think he's representing lethal for his next turn.
Yep. So at 7, Uppal finally does find his Underground Sea.
But it won't do anything, unfortunately for him.
Attacks Guthrie down to 11. And he's going to counterspell the Lightning Bolt.
Yep, Force of Will still in reserve.
Force of Will, Snapcaster Mage, Brainstorm. You see an excellent top 3 cards from Kendal Guthrie. He has Ponder, Brainstorm, and Stifle.
And this is just how wonderful Sylvan Library is. You just get to stack your deck for the rest of the game. Pay
Right,
life when
he has
you
an
need to.
uncracked fetch land, so as soon as that thing dries up on spells, he can reset it, and it'll basically Kendal Guthrie is ensured he's not going to draw land for the rest of the game.
Exactly. It's just such a subtly powerful card.
All right, Uppal trying to work his way up toward Batterskull. He's down to 4 life. Probably just does not have enough.
Yep, he'll
He's
spin
top
the top
again.
here.
Found IOK, Thoughtseize, Batterskull. He's going to draw, possibly baiting a Stifle here.
Yep. I have to think this might be Stifle here. Kendal Guthrie took the Stifle for a reason. I have to imagine that it was to counter the first activated ability he could have of Jace of
That
Sensei
is
style.
card disadvantage right now. The thing is, I would almost rather keep the Stifle and say, like, if Justin made a Batterskull token to stifle the Germ.
Yeah, I know. I definitely like this because this bolt is just lethal. And
Okay. And it is lethal, just not will scoop of the cards. Kendal Guthrie up 1 game to 0.
so Justin Uppal just really needed to resolve that Stoneforge Mystic. If he could have cast it with Force of Will backup, he probably would have won that game. But instead, Stoneforge got countered and he was left doing a heck of a lot of nothing.
Right.
So looking ahead to the sideboards, Justin Uppal, 0 Lingering Souls in the main deck, but 3 in the sideboard. And we'll see those for sure. We'll see Path to Exile for sure. Nihil Spellbomb will also come in. Maybe the Supreme Verdict, which is an interesting addition to Stoneforge. I hadn't considered that one, but that, I mean, if you're going to play a 4-mana spell in Legacy, it better be uncounterable.
Yeah, so, yeah, Supreme, yeah, better be on, which actually seems fine here. I really like that play. If Justin Uppal believes he can get to 4 lands against Rug Delver, that is a big if. But if he does, Supreme Verdict is a fine card.
Yeah, I mean, I like his sideboard plan a lot. He's just going to overload on removal. He'll have a Verdict, a Perish, 2 Paths, 3 Lingering Souls, and 2 Nihil Spellbomb. So he'll be able to keep the Nimbles under control, and he'll be able, you know, theoretically at least, to deal with the rest of the creatures through white removal and Perish.
This is typically a matchup where I like being on the Rug Delver side of things. That said, the sideboard for Rug Delver does not, for the Delver deck, it only has a few options on it. He has 2 red blasts, which are pretty good. He has a Grim Lavamancer, which is actually decent here, and we may see come in for the matchup. Other than that, he could be boarding in 2 Sulfuric Vortex. That's his last option.
That's a pretty good answer to Batterskull. Batterskull might still kill you before the Vortex kills your opponent, but it's nice to have some outs to the life gain.
Right.
So yeah, Justin Uppal definitely has a lot more sideboard cards for the matchup, but he will have his work cut out for him because even if he wins this game, he's going to have to win Game 3 on the draw as well. And I actually just saw Justin Uppal board in a Disenchant, so he's bringing in his 1 Disenchant too. Probably realizing how ranched he got by that Sylvan Library, wants to deal with that before it gets out of control.
So this is a matchup of undefeateds, of which there's only 17 right now. We're halfway through, this is round 4 of 8 of the Legacy Open. Just want to give a quick update on how some people are doing. You may see we're hoping to see possibly some repeat top 8ers. In the undefeated bracket from yesterday, we have Ryan Forsberg at 3-0. We have Justin Uppal currently at 3-0, as you see here. We also have Jacob Baugh, who top 8'd all three of them undefeated. Among other names, we have Matt Hoey, he is the current defending Legacy champion here in St. Louis. And we have Josh Hendricks, remember the person with the Is It Staticaster Soulbound deck, currently undefeated.
Yeah, do you think he's playing that in Legacy?
I hope he's playing something Soulbound in Legacy. That'd be really sweet. No will be the answer. I don't think he is.
I would not bet against you there.
Adam Prosak also undefeated, but he has a draw, so he's 2 wins and a draw. So half of our top 8 faring fairly well. Maybe we'll see a couple repeaters in top 8. It's always kind of exciting.
Yeah, that would be cool. We could have a 4 repeat top 8 as it's shaping up right now.
Yes, we could have a very similar top 8. So
Still pretty early, though. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
3 of 8 rounds in the books. We have 5 more before our top 8. A lot of Magic left to be played. A lot of people at 2-1 can get in. 1-1-1 could even probably get into the top 8 at this field. But they have to win out.
$10 draft number 7. Come on up to the stage.
So here we go. Players dealing out their 7. Uppal on the play. He's down a game right now. But I think he's favored after board. He certainly has a lot more tools to deal with Kendal's threats.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think he's somewhat favored. I feel that, I mean, this is always a matchup where I prefer to be on the Rug Delver side of things. Like, I definitely, I think the biggest thing is Uppal gets to be on the play this game.
Yes.
You know, this land's not going to get stifled. Things like that are fairly relevant.
Yep, unstifleable, unwastelandable. It's exactly the start Justin Uppal wants. His important spells after board aren't blue, but they're definitely white. The paths, the swords, the snapcat, or the stone forges rather.
He's gonna straight swords to plowshares, a turn 1 Delver, correctly putting island into play as to avoid getting it dazed.
Yeah. You see that Riptide Lab in his hand? That will go well with the Vendilion Click if he ever gets the opportunity.
Yeah, that's an awful lot. I mean, that's a pretty ambitious proposition. It's a lot of mana. But
yeah. And against a deck like Rug Delver, that's usually not what you want to be doing.
So Guthrie with the end step Brainstorm. Typically not what you're going to do, but when you have a fetch line in play, it's a fine hand. It looks like he's flooding a little bit, or Guthrie is a little threat light, it seems. That was his only creature, so he's going to, you know, this Brainstorm is an A call. He's going to Vendilion Click with the Scalding Tarn trigger on the stack.
So heads up play by Justin Uppal, no mana available to Kendal, and Justin Uppal will almost surely leave this as is.
Well, the biggest thing he knows is that the top of Kendal's deck is a card that Kendal doesn't want. So this Vendilion Click is really a strong play.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Dismember, Forked Bolt, Spell Pierce, and Spell Pierce. That is not good. He takes away the Dismember. Guthrie's hand miserable right now. And he's going to draw another land, and he knows it.
Yeah. That's a really good play by Justin Uppal. Clears out the removal spell.
Have a card.
Kendal will go get a duel here. This is the end of Justin Uppal's turn, though. So Kendal gets to untap. He gets to Forked Bolt that Vendilion Click if he wants to.
Sure, he probably will.
Yeah, I have to imagine. He has no threats. Kendal would love to draw something like a Tarmogoyf right here. Nimble Mongoose, Delver of Secrets, any creature.
Kendal draws, all right, Tarmogoyf. Excellent draw for Kendal Guthrie. Once again he has a creature. Unfortunately, there's a snap path waiting for it.
Right.
But he should be able to Spell Pierce that. So you can start by Forked Bolting. I don't like that play because I think it's better for him to make sure that if he's planning to drop Tarmogoyf. Oof.
Yeah, I really don't like that at all. You can take 3 damage from that Vendilion.
Yeah, especially with your hand, when your hand has one creature in it, you need to make sure that what's about to happen here didn't happen.
Right. Justin Uppal's deck is so overloaded with removal after board that it would be very unlikely for Justin Uppal not to have another kill spell here.
Yeah, so Justin's going to crack another fetch land while it's safe, dropping to 17.
Yeah, and
possibly just getting another basic.
He definitely knows Kendall's hand here. He technically doesn't know one card, but he has to know that the card is a land or something.
I mean, he knows that there's
useless.
double Spell Pierce, so like you have to think this is immediately.
Oh, you have to go for it here.
Yeah, snap half. So, yeah, that's really gonna hurt Kendal here. I mean, what I would have meant otherwise, with a double Spell Pierce, he could have played Protect the Tarmogoyf fairly effectively, but now Kendall's back on needing to draw threat.
Exactly. If Kendal just plays the Goyf, says go.
It's Croson Grip, it looks like. Fine card in the matchup, but no. The bigger problem is with no threat, Justin Uppal's going to start rebuying his Snapcaster Mage and really generating more card advantage than Guthrie can.
Yeah, and wow, that is a great draw for Kendal Guthrie.
Absolutely.
Sylvan Library, maybe the best draw.
Land Sylvan Library. That'll be fine. Justin Uppal will probably go for Engineered Explosives on 2 with 6 mana here. It's another Snapcaster Mage on end step, just as an Ambush Viper.
Yeah, Justin Uppal realizes he has to deal Kendal as much damage as possible so that Sylvan doesn't get out of control.
Yeah, the biggest worry, he's passing the turn. He's not going to, interestingly enough, he's going to let Kendal Guthrie Sylvan Library. I don't really like that. I think I would have, well, no, he doesn't want to EE on 2. It will up also on Snapcaster Mages. Okay, that's fair.
So Justin Uppal upkeep using his fetch land, play around Stifle as best as he can.
Yep. So the Sylvan Library is gonna create more card advantage than Uppal's Riptide Lab. So actually, you're gonna see Kendal Guthrie slowly start to come back and pull back in the game, and maybe even pull ahead if the Sylvan Library stays around.
Yeah, with 2 fetch lands in play, the library will do a lot of work.
Yeah,
for him.
I mean, Guthrie currently land flooding will probably draw no more lands for the rest of the game. It seems fairly certain. He has a Red Blast now. 2 Spell Pierces, a Red Blast, a Ponder. He's going to crack fetch land. He wants to make sure his fetch lands are a precious commodity here. He wants to make sure he does not crack all of them unless absolutely necessary.
Right, so Kendal Guthrie only paid 4 life there, didn't pay the full 8. He'll be content to try and kill these Snapcasters. It'll be hard in the face of a Riptide Lab. He would love to find a Wasteland at some point. And there's the Ponder.
Still needs a threat.
Delver.
Finds Brainstorm Delver. It's going to be a keep for sure. Yeah, Spell Pierce, the 3rd card down, I think, so he doesn't really want another Spell Pierce.
No, I think he'll be drawing a Delver, then probably drawing 1 Delver. Oh, is that a Spell Pierce he kept on top? Oh, okay, it was a Brainstorm. That makes sense.
Alright, sure. Brainstorm's excellent here. It's going to be able to reset all the bad cards from the top of his deck.
Yeah. Take these 2 Delvers, put them in his hand.
Oof, 2 Delvers, Force of Will. So remember, there is that Engineer Explosive, so what might happen if you're just an Uppal, he's going to EE on 1, or possibly on 0, because there is, I don't know if there's a Stifle left in Guthrie's hand.
I don't think so. But how sick is Sylvan Library? Kendal Guthrie started this turn with 2 Spell Pierce and a Crows Grip. Now he has Delver,
great.
Delver, Force of Will, Red Blast.
What I was going to say I like that he was only committing 1 Delver to the board, and he committed the second one. I don't like that play at all, yeah.
Shows it to him.
Caracas into play. Caracas will make EE on 1, Force of Will. No counter spell in Uppal's graveyard, so he can't snapcast there.
No, but he will draw Kendal Guthrie to 8 life.
Alright, so that will allow for Stoneforge Mystic to enter the battlefield.
Yeah, and it looks like that'll go get Batterskull and GT post-combat?
He's thinking about it again. It also does look like he's boarded in the Supreme Verdict. So debating GT versus... Yeah, that is a surprising... Yeah, if it's GT, post-combat is probably not what you want when you want to do that.
Right. I almost feel like GT is the correct...
Yeah, pre-combat GT, cast, equip.
Yeah.
That seems correct. I mean, it would force the Spell Pierce from Kendal Guthrie.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I noticed about Justin Uppal's play yesterday. He seemed almost a little more concentrated on playing fast than playing correctly.
I think that GT play now this game is maybe a little out of reach. Uppal dropping down to 10. Not totally out of reach.
No,
definitely. I mean, Guthrie is at a low life total. He's going to have to Red Blast a Snapcaster Mage. And yeah, that can get Riptide Labbed very easily. No instance in the graveyard, so may not have actually been correct to make that play. He does have Path to Exile in his hand, which is a fantastic spell to have right now.
Yeah.
Remember that there are no basic lands in Rug Delver's deck, so Path to Exile is a very good card.
Strictly better Swords to Plowshares.
And you go Path, Snap, Path. There's no spell. Okay, Guthrie must have dropped one of the Spell Pierce off the Brainstorm.
Yeah, I think he did. He put it on top to flip his Delvers.
Right, and then shuffle that away. So, with that Path, Snap, Path, Uppal pretty much winning game 2.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard for Kendal Guthrie to come back. He's going to need something like a Rough Tumble, I guess, if he sided in Rough Tumble, which
But the problem is then a Uppal hard casts Batterskull.
Yeah, true too.
Like, with his 7 lands, he just casts it.
Yeah, Kendal Guthrie would need some of the absurd series here of cards that aren't really in his deck, like Rough Tumble into Crows Grip.
Right.
That's going to be about it for him. He's on 6
I still kind of wish Uppal had gotten the GT unswung on that turn, though. He's vindicated in this game that I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, I think GT was definitely the better play.
And Guthrie down to 2.
Still comfortably winning here.
It possibly, for the record, would have been correct to play Batterskull and equip to Snapcaster Mage. I think completely tapping out for that play, I almost feel like was the correct move.
And Kendal Guthrie not showing him the Crows Grip in his hand. He'll save that one for game 3.
Yeah, so 1 game apiece. Justin Uppal, like you said, post board does get a little bit more game going on. Once again, though, now he's going to have to defeat Rug Delver when the Rug Delver players gets to go first. It's so many. I don't have any hard data, but my gut would say that were we to map out win percentages, play on draw versus Rug Delver. Let's talk about like what if say I'll define the tempo-ness of a deck, and so I took percent wins on the play minus percent wins on the draw.
I like that stat. They should have that stat.
I would wish they had that stat. I would imagine that Delver would be one of the decks with a high tempo-ness rating.
Yeah, I would agree with that one.
Like up there with Belcher. Like, Belcher on the play versus Belcher on the draw is so different.
Yeah. Once they go blue dual go or blue
like, oh no, Spell Pierce and Daze.
Like Brainstorm into the
Force of
Will.
Will. Right. It's just so much worse.
So players look like they're re-sideboarding a little bit here. Can't imagine they'd change much. Justin Uppal's sideboard is a slam dunk, and Kendal just doesn't have many cards to bring in, so maybe a few tweaks. But that's going to be about it. Maybe Kendal Guthrie has stifles on the play versus not on the draw, but I don't even know about that one.
Right.
Justin Uppal needs something like he had last game. Last game he had a bunch of basic lands, which really, Kendal Guthrie didn't have his wasteland draw, but if he did, it would have been completely stymied by the basics. And sure, he could have killed the Riptide Lab, but I'm pretty sure Justin Uppal would have won without the Riptide Lab.
Yeah, the Riptide Lab actually, it allowed him to snap a path back, I suppose. So it netted him an extra path to exile, which turned out, Justin Uppal was still at 10 life at the end of the game. And with Guthrie having no burn, that actually didn't matter in the end. The Batter Skull, Justin Uppal maybe would have had to go back to winning with Batter Skull, but had that been asked of him, I think he would have done it. So.
Right. And also with the Riptide Lab, the second Snapcaster wouldn't have gotten flashed in just as a 2-1. Kendal Guthrie would have had a lot more time to find his answers.
Right.
So Justin Uppal, I guess this is his third feature match this weekend.
Yep. So far, he's not been too successful in feature matches. His only losses at the entire Open yesterday were in feature matches, both to the same opponent. And once again, he's undefeated here off camera. The person after my own heart there,
Undefeated off camera.
Oh gosh,
completely defeated on camera.
Yeah, if you Google my own feature matches, you can watch me lose to a variety of different players in a variety of formats. It's terrible.
Can we get that on stream? Can we
never win these stupid things.
Superimpose that? No.
It's just the worst. It's like, blown out again. Yeah.
Now, is Justin Uppal's opponent that he lost to yesterday in the Legacy tournament?
His opponent yesterday was. We will check up on that.
We'll find that out for you.
Yeah, he's his kryptonite still in the tournament. All right.
Kendal Guthrie starts off on a Delver of Secrets. Uses a fetch, gets a trot, plays a Delver. And there you see that Nihil Spellbound from Justin Uppal. That'll be good if Kendal draws the Nimble Mongoose half of his deck. Not so good otherwise. But Justin Uppal will fetch his land while the Rug Delver player is tapped out. No stifles, no wastelands allowed. He's being careful to play around those.
In response to your question, fortunately his opponent, David Coons, did not sign up for the Legacy Open, so Uppal in the clear.
And we'll tell him that. I'm sure he'll breathe a sigh of relief. Nihil Spellbomb versus Delver of Secrets flipped on turn 1. That blind flip.
So the blind flip's so swingy, so relevant.
Yeah.
Very frustrating sometimes for players.
He had a ponder though, so it was almost definitely going to flip anyway. Probably a 2-life differential for Justin Uppal. Kendal Guthrie kind of flooded on Tarmogoyfs right here, if there is a such thing. He has 2 in hand and a 3rd on top of his deck. Force of Will in hand 2 with a blue card, so he's pretty well set up for this game. Justin Uppal is going to have to make something happen versus that active Delver. And it looks like he'll keep.
Yep. Another Delver in play, but no ability to cast it this turn. So a little bit more curious. He's going to have to, ponder more interestingly.
Right. Now this fetch land will almost certainly get an island, and Stoneforge Mystic will meet a Force of Will. I have to imagine.
Yep. He's just Guthrie's he's burning resources at a very fast pace here with good intention.
Brainstorm. That's interesting.
Post fetch land Brainstorm.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that.
That's not typically how I use my fetch. Fetch then Brainstorm.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, sometimes you can play around days, but sometimes you can't play around days. Sometimes
Well, you can wait until he dazes it.
before you. Oh no,
Oh
I'm
no
talking
no!
about the
Oh,
Stoneforge.
you mean because his second land was a plane. It was
Right.
the island. It's just yeah.
I think I just would have ran out the Stoneforge there, just because. Make him have the days. His draw is so good that you can't really play the long game against these Delvers.
Boy, I mean, these are going to be 6 power guys. We're almost at the point where he can ignore the Stoneforge Mystic. I understand that he's playing the entire game around days, which is very safe, but his life total, like he's at 12, we realize that, if this other Delver flips, it goes 6-0. Like,
Yeah.
oh wow, that's not very many turns.
And it probably will flip. I think this is his third card drawn with Ponder.
It doesn't...
And yeah, there it is.
Yep, push the Uppal down to 6. He's, and here's where Rug Delver goes into overdrive. Like waste you Ponder here. So he has a Stifle, a Red Blast, a Lightning Bolt.
No more land though.
No more land. I think it's a shuffle as a result. No, he's gonna go ahead and keep it. Okay, no, it's fine. He has a Lightning Bolt. That's silly me. Yeah, not gonna waste time. He's gonna make Lingering Souls for blockers. It's fine.
Yep, he'll try and double block down Insectile Aberration.
The bigger thing is that he's basically Uppal has resigned himself to or Guthrie to not really playing any more lands this game.
Right.
Probably fine. The Red Blast.
I think I would have shuffled that there.
Yeah, I mean, Lightning Bolt's very enticing when your opponent's at 6.
Yeah, it is.
And the double swing here is not too bad. You either get to eat both Lingering Souls tokens, or you get to, try to kill him. You don't actually have to. It means because you don't have the red mana yet.
Right. That's the problem. That said, though, Kendal Guthrie does have plays for the next 3 turns. He has 3 turn plays, so he has a lot of time to find that red.
Swing both, double block, snap double
Could not
blocking.
block faster.
All right, no mountain. Now just has to know that Mountain Bolt kills him, which is bad news for him. Another Thoughtseize. So he has Snapcaster, Thoughtseize, Marshflats. Doesn't want to crack Marshflats. That'd be bad. He can't Thoughtseize if he cracks Marshflats. He can make 2 more 1/1s, so he can chump block for another turn. We'll probably see that happen here.
Yep, the Lingering Soul is certainly bigger than, or rather the Tarmogoyf 3 power or bigger, so it is lethal. And Justin Uppal not going to be able to do much here.
Two more tokens there. And he's going to go to 2, so those 2 Thoughtseizes in his hand, no longer cards.
Yep, kind of a rough card to have in your deck on the draw versus Rug Delver. Really just, the life is a liability. And it looks like he'll main phase Snapcast.
Yeah,
no, that's a Vendel. Okay.
Reveals Thoughtseize. Yes, yes, I am getting rid of this Thoughtseize. And and remember, there's plenty of draws. The number of red sources in Kendal Guthrie's deck, he has 4 Tarns, 4 Misties, 3 Volcanic Islands. I don't believe he's used any of those yet, so he has 11 I-Win cards in his deck. His deck is somewhere around 44 cards left, so he's a 1/4 to win off every draw.
Yeah, which is pretty good. I mean, 1 and 4 doesn't sound very good, but when this game is going to go many more
You get to
turns,
roll a die a few times, it's always pretty,
Yeah.
You hit it once of them, more than one, especially since Uppal hasn't even really stabilized against this board of Tarmogoyfs.
And there it is.
There you go.
That's the engineered. Kendal Guthrie does not have
And that was a fairly greedy second Tarmogoyf. Especially when he's looking at a handful of Stifles now. All right, Justin Uppal has more lands. He is going to spin top, land, Brainstorm, Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge Mystic, excellent here.
Yep, he'll draw that Stoneforge. He desperately needs to get a Batterskull into play.
Going really breakneck speed. Can't wait right now. Yeah,
Justin, don't worry. There are 22 minutes left in the round.
He's going to get Jite. Jite gains life faster. That's interesting because he's going to have to chump block here with the Spirit token. It might not. Okay, he's just going to main phase a Snapcaster into play with no targets.
Yep, I like that play. Now, Kendal Guthrie has to get through 3 creatures.
Kendal Guthrie has 1 turn to hit that red source. He does not hit it. I don't think he has now. I think Justin Uppal's got this.
Well, he does have a Stifle in his hand.
Okay, so he can stifle the Jite. He can stifle so he tries. One thing to do is stifle the Jite counters. He's gonna swing, get chump blocked. Which actually, that's actually pretty big here for him. So yeah, Inquisition will start by Uppal.
Oh, 2 Stifles though.
Yep, can't have them both. So we have Mongoose Bolt. So the question is, do you take a bolt or do you take a stifle? I almost think you take both. Very interesting.
That's really tough, actually, because what's in Justin Uppal's hand? Does he have another creature?
He has a GT. It does not appear so. He's going to take a stifle.
Yeah, that's really painful.
He has
for
a
Justin
Snapcaster. I think he's going to Snapcaster the Inquisition if he can. He's going to, maybe not. So this is clearly going to get stifled then.
There's the stifle, and
He's stifling the equip, which is the correct thing to stifle.
another lightning bolt drawn by Kendal Guthrie.
Oh, the irony of drawing a second lightning bolt here.
Now the choice of not to shuffle really coming back to bite him.
All right, Stoneforge Mystic gone. Remember, so both stifles gone. Justin Uppal is going to get GT counters. The question is that enough?
Oh, with that sword
That
drawn,
sword,
that's
it
enough.
certainly is. Wow, and that. Okay, no, Uppal had another Snapcaster in hand.
And I can't believe that Justin Uppal is somehow coming back from this.
Yeah, no, and he's more than just somehow coming back. He has come back from this.
Yeah, exactly. Kendal Guthrie would need something like a
Remember, those lightning bolts.
cascade bluffs.
Those lightning bolts no longer. Well, actually, no. It's still live this turn. Justin Uppal at 6 life. Mongoose deals 3, and then 3 more from a lightning bolt. Uppal may not. If Kendal Guthrie draws them out, and he's going to want to wait to post combat it. Because you just wouldn't know.
Oh, is that
Alright, he's gonna snap Inquisition. Oh, here's a second one, so he'll take the Red Blast.
So Kendal Guthrie, yes, it's a foursome will. That's a turn late, $1 short.
Gain 2 life, taking 1. So he goes to 1. Taking 3. So yeah, taking a nat 1.
Right. So Justin Uppal just has to finish
Engineer
Kendal off.
explosives on 1. That's gotta be. That's gotta be it. Swinging 1 damage. Kendal Guthrie down to 20. 2 counters on GT. 2 lightning bolts in hand for Guthrie. Remember, he's not gonna be able to play them fast enough.
No.
Engineered explosives.
Can't
on
outrace a
1.
GT, just like last round. It just does not work.
He's gonna move the GT over to Snapcaster Mage.
And yeah, this has to be a frustrating loss for Kendal Guthrie. So close, lightning bolt in hand. Turn 1 Delver on the play, it flips. End the game with 3 bolts in hand. That is tough luck for Kendal Guthrie, just never drawing that red source.
Yep, swings in 2 more counters. The GT's at 3. I don't think Guthrie could draw Croson Grip here.
Ooh, yeah.
If you're Justin Uppal and you know he's playing Croson Grip, you may actually want to at some point here just straight burn some GT counters to gain life.
Yeah, definitely. Justin Uppal doesn't know about the Croson Grip.
Okay, he's pumping.
Okay.
He's increasing his clock.
Also pretty reasonable. What
Yeah.
you don't want to do is just let that GT sit there amassing counters. That's asking to get gripped. Yeah, and that life total-
Actually, yeah, he used the GT counters then to gain life there, actually. So, making the correct play.
So up
It
to,
wasn't to push damage.
It looks like 9 life, maybe?
Yep, the snap, it's fine. Delver of Secrets into play. We'll killing the Delver. Yeah, pretty much all over here. Uppal swinging for 3, putting Kendal Guthrie to 9.
It looks like this is going to be a post-combat Thought Seize.
Sure, Guthrie's at 5. Now 3 lightning bolts and a forcible. Just leave him with the lightning bolts. Again, that kind of smirk of, I suppose I got greedy there.
Yep. It was an interesting ponder. I still don't know what was
Interesting
right,
when you thought he's a lightning bolt, you're almost casting the lightning bolt for him.
Yeah, I think I probably would have just left him with the bolts.
And there we go, another card by Kendal Guthrie. He has nothing he can cast in his hand. And there's the concession. Justin Uppal defeats Kendal Guthrie 2-1. A big comeback in game 3. Guthrie trying to get that upper hand there, just, decides to put himself on the outs to try to hit the red source and doesn't hit it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the tough part with the ponder. You know you're not going to hit it for 2 straight turns. So really, he only had like a 2 or 3 turn window to draw that red source for the win.
Right. I mean, I know lightning bolt's an enticing keep there. I think you need to shuffle. Basically, what seems to be one of the reasons that it's not just, first of all, your other draws could have a lightning bolt in them, but they could also have maybe another brainstorm in them or something else, which is like,
Ponder or creature.
right. You really want that 3rd land.